Hey, what's going on? So, I'm filming this on a Thursday. It's fucking freezing out. It's the coldest day of the year. I mean, that's not saying much. It's January, but still, I'm not leaving the house today. But I've been really dying to talk about this whole Jon Jones situation. Now, I'm not going to say I'm the biggest UFC fan. I'm not. But I did watch this fight because this fight was particularly interesting. You know, Jones being 20-1 at the time. Daniel D.C. Cormier, who he fought, 15-0, never lost a fight. Never been taken down in a fight. He's an Olympic wrestler. So, to me, this was pretty interesting. I wanted to see this, and, you know, most people know they had a lot of bad blood. It all started with Jones' first time he met DC, goes up to him, you know, Jones being Jones, like, hey, I bet I can take you down. Like, how's it going? I bet I can take you down. And DC being an Olympic wrestler, with all the fucking pride that he has, he's like, do you even know who the fuck I am? Like, what the fuck are you saying? So he didn't take it too well. Since then, they had a lot of bad blood, you know, fucking going at each other in the fucking media. On picture day, they literally get into a fist fight. So they don't like each other. So everyone was fucking dying to watch this fight, and me included. I wasn't going to pay for it. I mean, it was $60. I ended up going to Buffalo Wild Wings and watching it for free there with my friends, which was a bad idea, but still, watch it for free. So I ended up watching this fight, and if people know Jon Jones, like if you've seen him fight before, I don't know how many fucking people watch UFC, but if you've seen Jon Jones fight, he prides himself at beating people at their own game. For instance, a while back he fought Chael Sonnen, and it was no secret Chael Sonnen was going to lose. I mean, Jon Jones is the best fighter in the world, but Chael Sonnen's strategy is literally to just go straight at him and fucking pound him into the fucking ground. Like, just go straight at him, and everyone knew that. I mean, he said that he's going to go out and he's going to fucking pound him and knock him out. Jon Jones knows this. He literally goes into the fight and knocks him out in the first round. Literally has him on the ground, fucking pounding his face in. And that's what Chael said he's going to do to him. He goes into this fight, and that's what Jon prides himself on, you know, beating people at their own game. So, DC, being this Olympic wrestler, you know, everyone's like, oh, DC's going to fucking pick him up and toss Jones, because that's what DC does. Jones goes into this fight. Literally in the first round, DC throws a kick, Jones catches it. Jones trips his other leg, takes him down. It's the first time DC's ever been taken down in his UFC career, ever. And by the end of the fight, DC had been taken down about 4 times, Jones taken down once. I mean, when Jones did get taken down, DC literally picked him up, put him over his shoulder, and fucking threw him on the ground. But still, 4-1, and DC's a fucking Olympic wrestler. So, the rest of the fight, Jones literally has DC in the clinch, fucking throwing his fucking famous elbows. That's what Jones does. So Jones undisputably wins the fight. Everyone knows it. Jones wins. Press conference after, you know, DC's fucking crying. And because DC's never won anything in his life. I mean, he came 4th at the Olympics. The next year he went to the Olympics. He was 2nd in the world at the time. He cut too much weight, got sick. He went to the hospital. He wasn't allowed to wrestle. So that was his best chance to win anything. He didn't. He's never won anything in his life. He was 15-0 in the UFC. But this was his title shot. He lost. So the press conference, he's fucking crying. And Jones is just up there being a fucking dickhead, like rubbing it in his face. Jones has a shirt like that says like unbroken, and he's like just like waving it around. And Jones is like, I don't feel fucking bad for him. You know, if he'd won, he'd be a dickhead too, which is true. So he wins the fight. I'm feeling good. I wanted him to win. He beat DC at his own game. First guy to ever take him down, like 4 times. So you find out maybe 2 days later, Jon Jones tests positive for cocaine. I'm like, holy that's like the last thing anyone would expect. You know, Jon Jones is the poster boy for the UFC. He's a fucking clean-cut guy. He's the best fighter in the world. Literally, best fighter in the world. He's the best UFC fighter of all time. People call him that. If you ask him about it, he'll say, you know, I think I have a lot to work on, but yeah, 2015 is the year I'm going to be the best of all time. So he had his 8th title defense beating DC, and that's the most ever in the light heavyweight division. Well, it's tied for the most with Anderson Silva, so he's the best of all time. Because Anderson Silva arguably was the best before Jones came. So you find out about this whole cocaine situation, and I'm thinking, like, you don't expect that. So I find out, wait, did he take this before the fight? Like, did it give him an edge? You find out he tested positive for cocaine December 4th. The fight was January 4th. So I'm thinking in my head, this is fucking irrelevant. Like, what does this have to do? I mean, it looks bad, but it had no outcome. It didn't change any outcome of the fight. So, I mean, he tested positive a month before. And he tested again. They tested him again before the fight, and he was clean. the UFC knew he tested positive, but they're like, this is a month before. I mean, it's going to be out of your system by the fight, obviously, so this means nothing. So this whole report comes out, he's on cocaine, he checks into rehab. And I'm thinking to myself, didn't change anything about the fight. I mean, it was a fucking month before. But him checking into rehab made me think. I was like, does he really have a problem? I mean, I can imagine Jones, the fucking superhero that he is, being a champion and just fucking partying. Like, you win a fight, you fucking party. Maybe he did some blow. That's not a big deal. I feel like, he's not the only fucking person to do that. The only thing that make me think that he might have a problem is that he took this before the biggest fight of his life. I mean, granted it was a month before and it has no effect. You would think that Jones would have fucking tunnel vision. Like, this is the biggest fight of his life. Why the fuck is he partying or doing whatever the fuck he's doing instead of training? So that was the only thing that would make me think that he might have a problem. I mean, but I don't. I think he's a fucking champion. I think champions like to party. They deserve to party. And him checking the rehab, to me, maybe just a PR move. I mean, it looks good. It looks bad being caught with cocaine. It looks good saying you're doing something better and going to rehab. That's all I can think. Maybe he doesn't have a problem. Maybe he does. I'm thinking that it's a PR move. But I don't know. But I just wanted to get that out. If you think that this had any outcome on the fight, you're an idiot. You didn't change anything. Nothing's changed. People that are like, oh, it's so different now. It's not. You might look at him differently, but he's still the fucking champ. All right, guys. See you later.